I met Connor coming here to college at School of Mines. I met him, and it turns out we had each gone to the same high school, and he saw me and he was like, "Did you go to Legacy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's like, "Oh, I think I saw you around there." 'Cause I was so tall, I stood out sometimes, but
Right on.
yeah. And then I encouraged him to come to our club on campus, Christian Challenge, and became a leader in that. And yeah, and we started living together as roommates at the Crewplex, and we started playing basketball and other intramural sports together. And yeah, we've just had a great time. Gone on a few road trips, and it's been great to knowing Connor.
Give me a sense of him. Why is he going to be the perfect husband for Katie?
Connor is a great leader, and he's always good at organizing events for us, and he's just a very, very wise man and a strong man of his faith, and he's just overall a great guy, and I know that him and Katie will do really well together, yeah.
So Josh, tell me, how did Connor and Katie meet? Do you know at all?
Yeah, Connor and Katie, they met first in Christian Challenge, but it was a big group. So I know the first time they really started to get to know each other was this summer after Connor's freshman year. We took a missions trip down to Delta, Colorado for a weekend, and there was only like 5 or 6 of us, and Connor and Katie was 2 of them. So that's when their friendship really blossomed. And then that next fall starting, I was with them, and we were 3 of the freshman Bible study leaders, so they really, really got to know each other a lot more there, and it kind of took off from there, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. What makes them work well together as a couple?
Oh, they just complement each other so well. They're just both really athletic. They have a lot of just common stuff they like to do together, and they just play off each other so well. Just so many common interests. Like, they're always, Connor had a motorcycle. He actually had 2 motorcycles, so Katie got, up on the motorcycle. He got her into that. Katie was cross-country runner, so she got Connor into running more. So just kind of the way they play off each other so well.
Cool.
So a fun story is on that Delta trip where they first kind of started to get to know each other. Connor actually jokingly married 2 other girls on that trip. So it was more or less just inside jokes and a few funny pictures we took. But yeah.
So we took a few practice shots and then got it right today.
Yep, exactly. So.
How about you? Is there a favorite memory of them? Something that you guys like to laugh about? Something you're proud of them for?
Yeah, we went on Josh and Connor and I all went on a road trip together down to LA, and we met this guy, Pablo, and he walked up to us in the street, tell us how he's going to be a billionaire, and he'll give Connor back the money if he buys a CD. So Connor's like taking his picture with him, and he's wearing this shirt that says Better Baller Brand, which is this fake band we made, and that's a whole nother great story in itself. And yeah, so we were listening to his CD coming back on the road trip, so that's a pretty funny story we have.
So what was it like growing up with Katie? Give me a sense of her, teenager, something like that.
Katie is the best sister I could ever ask for. She and I did a lot of things together. We always went out and hiked in the wilderness together. We climbed trees together. We read books together. It was pretty much the best sibling we could ever have. A lot of times we have rivalries together, but Katie and I pretty much just, we didn't really fight that much. We just had a great time and just grew super close to each other. So it's one of the best sisters I could ever have.
Awesome. So when you met this Connor guy, what do you think? Why is he good enough for your sister?
The first time I met him was at Easter a couple of years back, and he was super quiet and kind of reserved. And I'm like, Connor's really nice, but I don't really know him that well at all. And so every time I hung out with him, I decided to talk more and more to him, and he just became like such a great guy that I could hang out with and just rely upon, and they just matched so well together, and I'm really glad that they ended up getting married.
So how about you? How do you know him?
Yeah, so I was also one of the roommates with Connor all of last year, and so that's how I kind of got to know Connor, and it was through Christian Challenge and all that, just getting to know Katie and Connor through that. I was also on the cross-country team with Katie as well for freshman year, so I kind of knew her during that, so it was kind of cool.
Right on. Do you know how he proposed?
I think he was up on Lookout Mountain, and they're going out for a hike, and I'm pretty sure the snow was up to their waists, and going for a hike and beautiful snow, and got down on one knee and just laid it all there. So
cool. Do you have a favorite memory of Connor, or something you guys did together, or Connor and Katie together, anything like that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of times during this past semester, during spring of 2019, Katie and Connor invited me out to a skiing trip with them at Winter Park and Mary Jane. It was really fun. Got to hang out with them and Julia, and it was just a great time to hang out. And then I think it was like a couple weeks later, Connor was at my house during the summer, and he was taking out some dishes out of the dishwasher, and he ended up slicing his finger almost down to the bone. And so Katie and I rushed him to the hospital that night, and he was supposed to leave for Israel the next day, and he ended up having to get surgery the next morning before he went on the flight to Israel, and we were just in the emergency room till like 11:30 that night, and it was pretty fun. Sorry for Connor, but it was fun for me.
Nice. So tell me just a little bit about Katie. Why is she a good match for Connor? Why is she a good match for your friend?
Me?
No, him. He hasn't.
Okay.
I'm just giving him
Sorry.
another just soundbite.
Yeah, so Katie just has a big heart, really loves people and loves the Lord, and really always intentional with everyone that she's friends with, and just a really good person, really good friend. So she'll really carry through in their marriage.
Awesome. All right. So, how do you know the happy couple?
Yeah, I know them both from Colorado School of Mines. I was roommates with Katie. We met during our freshman year, and then Connor came around a few years later, and he joined the same Bible study group as us. And yeah, that's how I know both of them.
So what do they like as a couple? What do they like to do together? What's some of their personality traits or weird quirks?
Yeah, they like to go hiking a lot, lots of adventures. They like just doing lots of fun things. Katie and Connor, especially together, are both very excitable and joyful, and just have so much energy for both of them individually, and then even more together as a couple.
So were you already rooming with Katie when she met Connor?
Yes, I was.
How'd she meet him? What did she say about him when she met him? Give me a little bit of the beginning of their love story here.
Yeah, so they met each other during her junior year, but they didn't start dating till her senior year. She was already in another relationship when they first met, but later on they started hanging out. They went on a missions trip together after she had broken up with the other guy. So they went on a little trip together, and that's when they started kind of talking to each other a little bit. I remember there was one time that I was talking about when I first met Connor. One time I messed up his name and I couldn't remember it, and she was like, "How could you? He's the most attractive guy in our Bible study." And I was like, "I'm sorry, Katie, I didn't know." So yeah, and then it was about December or so of senior year, she started really talking about him a lot. January, February, she was like, "Yeah, Connor, I don't know, I really like him, but I don't know if he likes me." And I was like, "I'm sure he does, just wait it out." And I remember it was about a week before they started dating, she was like, "I think I need to move on from him because it's been a while." I was like, "Katie, just give it a little bit more." And then next thing you know it, they were dating and both super in love with each other.
Awesome. Do you know how he proposed, like anything in the proposal story?
Yeah, so Katie had been gone on a work trip for about a week. She got back and Connor took the day off school. He told her, "Let's go recreate our first date." So they went to Bob's Atomic Burgers where they had their first date, and then Connor was like, let's go on a hike. So they started hiking, and Katie knew something was up because Connor was kind of, not quite himself the whole way up, a little nervous and stuff. And then at the top of this long walk, he, popped the question there and took some pictures up there. And then on the way back, they were already planning their honeymoon and everything that night. So
me and Katie met at Christian Challenge, and that was freshman year of school. And we were also roommates for 2 years. And then I met Connor through Katie.
So give me a sense of Katie. What kind of person is she?
Katie's really fun and has a ton of energy. She loves to ski, she loves to run. She's really fun to talk about music with, theology. It's very fun.
Do you have a favorite memory of Katie or Connor, or something you guys did together that you laugh about and you reminisce?
The first time I met Connor, me, Mary, Katie, and Connor went skiing. And we drove up separately. Me and Mary drove up together, and it was the first time I met Connor, and I lost my keys on the slopes, and he had to drive me home, and it was really nice of him, but we laugh about it now because it was a bit of a date for them, and then me and Mary crashed it.
Nice. So look in your crystal ball here, give me a prediction. What are they going to be doing in 25 years, and when they watch this on the 25th anniversary, they can see how close you got?
Skiing a lot, hopefully. Hiking, hanging out.
So I know Katie because I met her freshman year on the cross country team, and so we've been running together for the 4 years on the team. And like Mary was saying, when she started dating Connor, she was really excited about him, and he's been a wonderful influence on her life, and they've been able to talk about all sorts of things, and talk about their faith most of all, and that's been really amazing.
So what about the two of them that makes them work well together as a couple? Why are they the perfect match?
Well, that's a good question. Katie and Connor just have so much energy and so much life. They both love hanging out with people and loving on them as well. So they're able to talk through things if they have any conflicts, but they're also able to stick together and just have so much passion and love in their life.
Cool. Do you have a favorite memory of them? Something you guys like to laugh about? Something you're really proud of them for?
I'm proud of Katie for getting through field session and senior design with me. She was the one who kept us going, kept our group working hard all the time, even when we were tired or stressed out. She was able to give some positivity in there. And one time I told her, I'm just so hungry, I need to go get dinner and come back and I'll be fine. And she was like, I don't need food, Molly. I just live off the numbers. And so that's my favorite memory of Katie.
Excellent.
I'm Connor's little sister.
Connor's little sister. So tell me about growing up with Connor. What was he like?
He was the most loving brother you could ever think of. He always took care of me, and he always made sure I was okay. And he would brag about me all the time, even if I wasn't the best person to brag about. He was always with me, and he always just cared for me.
Do you have a favorite memory of growing up with Connor?
I have just moments of when we would go up to the mountains and he would take me skiing, and we always take like the back roads down, never like the straight down, because he knows maps so well. So I loved adventuring with him in the mountains.
Awesome. So what about this Katie lady? When you met her, why is she good enough for your big brother?
Oh my gosh, when I first met her, I gave her a big hug because Connor always said like great things about her, and I love her. She's so energetic and loving, and she's so easy to talk to. And I just think they're just a perfect match together.
Awesome. So tell me this. Look in your crystal ball. What are they going to be doing in 25 years when they watch this on their 25th anniversary? They can see how close you got.
Oh, they're gonna have children. I'm gonna be a great aunt.
How many kids are they going to have?
Oh, I think they want two. I'd say 2 or 3. A boy, girl. Caleb. Me and Katie got this thing. Caleb. Her boy's gonna be named Caleb.
Awesome.
And it's gonna be a great little family. I just know it.
Katie is very thoughtful and concerned about doing well. She did very well in school, and just very conscientious about most things in life.
She has a heart for God, and she really loves people, and when they're her friend, they're her dear, dear friends. She doesn't have many surfacey friends. She gives her all in all to her friends.
What was she like growing up? Do you have a favorite memory of Katie as a child?
She was the easiest kid to raise. She's awesome, just amazing.
Very content as a child. We would put her on the floor before she could crawl. We'd put some toys around her, and she'd play and content herself for about an hour before she really wanted to interact, whereas our son, not so much. He always had to be with people.
But when she got older, she started falling in love with running, and I can remember her very first race. She came in and she wasn't sweating or anything, and she goes, should I like really be running faster, you think? And I was like, if you want to win the race. So that kind of, in junior high, she just got this like ambition to like, I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to run faster and faster. And she just kind of changed then and got
competitive.
This competitive side appeared, yeah.
So what about Connor? When you met him, why'd you think, hey, this guy might work out for my daughter?
He was so sweet. He brought me flowers, tulips. It was on Easter. He was so nice. I couldn't believe he did that.
Connor has so impressed me. Such a thoughtful, kind young man, hardworking, straightforward. I can't say enough good things about Connor.
And when Katie gets like a little upset about something or something's going wrong, he's like her steadiness. He's like, it's all right, Katie. And then I can see Katie visually going, oh, okay.
Do you have any advice for the happy couple?
Follow the Lord all the days of your life.
Yeah.
And serve him only.
Yeah. And love each other, put the other ahead of the other. That makes it so you're not as selfish. And I need to learn that too. I need to abide by that.
We're so happy for you both.
Yeah. We love you.
Yeah, we love you very much.
Well, Connor, it's funny I'm hearing about Katie because they're so similar. So Connor was just, yeah, everybody would say, oh, what a good kid you have. And he's very introspective. Growing up, if he decided he wanted to talk about something, nothing else mattered to me in that day. He would constantly be studying maps. In our bathroom, we'd have a globe and a map that he could study, and so he always managed his school well. I didn't know a thing about what he was signing up for. He just did it.
Yeah, really I'd say self-reliant, but and not, he's an easy kid, a lot like Katie. So that was pretty cool to hear that. But yeah.
So what's a memory of Connor? Something you guys are really proud of him for? Something maybe that he struggled through and had victory, or just accomplished?
Oh gosh, there's a few. I wanted him to play football, and I thought, am I gonna be a football dad, right? And the crazy dad, and how's he gonna do? Is he gonna be big enough? And he was great. And like the first game that he played flag football, he scored a touchdown, and I said, oh, that's enough. I'm done. So I think that, he's done so many things that maybe just amaze us, and maybe earlier than what I thought he would do. I don't know. I have a great one, but his accomplishment at school was pretty amazing. To be able to go to an engineering school and get out in 3 years, and to have such a ease about it. He wasn't concerned about, I've got to get straight A's and this is stressing me out. He was more concerned about, well, if I get a 56, I think I passed the class. And he would. And, like Lisa said, we didn't know what his grades were. So I think that's pretty cool.
We just paid the bills.
Yeah, we just paid the bills. Easy.
So what about Connor and Katie together? Like, what makes them a good match? What makes them work well together as a couple?
Well, what I've noticed is that they are so thoughtful to each other. They'll constantly, thank each other, and when each other does something for the other, they show gratitude. When Connor was growing up, when we would talk about girls and stuff, I said, you find a girl that loves the Lord first and is right and one in Jesus Christ, and you'll have a match for the rest of your life. And I see that in them, that it's just God's right in the middle of that relationship.
Yep.
So,
and they encourage each other. They're not rigid, they're flexible, and you call that equally yoked. Right?
Well, and they also love so much of the same stuff. They love to hike and ski, and they're very active, and Katie's willing to do anything to try stuff new, and so that'll really, give them, they'll have a lot of fun with that in their life.
Cool. Last bit, just look in the camera, say whatever you want to say to your son and his new bride.
Good.
Oh gosh, we just love you so much, and we just want all the wonderful blessings of God on your marriage, and we just wish you the best. We love you.
Yes, we love you, and I'm gonna put this in, and I maybe should have said it first, but just remember who the enemy is. It's not Katie or Connor. We know who the enemy is, and pray against the enemy, and we love you, and we're just so happy, thrilled.
Connor and Katie, I love you guys so much. I'm so happy you guys are getting married, and I know God has just great plans for the both of you. I wish you the best of luck as he takes you off to Nebraska for the next chapter. You'll be the first good thing to ever hit Nebraska, so we're pumped for that, and might make all of us think about swinging through at some point. So.
All right, yeah, and I'm so glad that I've got to know you, Connor and Katie, and you've been great friends, and I love you both, and I just wish you the best in marriage, and yeah, it's been great knowing you.
Awesome. And last bit, I just look in the camera, say whatever you want to say to your friend and sister on the day of the wedding.
All right, Connor and Katie, we love you guys. We're so happy for you guys. I know you guys beat me to the wedding and started going out on the same day, March 17th. And so we just love you guys so much. Super happy for you guys, and just can't wait to hear more about your guys' next chapter in life. So.
I know I'll see you guys around because I'll make sure to come up to Nebraska and say hi to you guys. But I just love both you guys so much. And in the words of Tony Tiger, you guys are great.
Katie, I love you so much. I'm so glad that we are friends and that you found Connor and that you guys are gonna have an amazing relationship that glorifies God in all you do. Love you.
Katie, Connor, love you guys so much. I'm so excited for you guys. Hope it's an awesome day.
Katie, we love you so much and we hope the best for you, and we'll be praying for you so hard. You guys will be a huge influence in Omaha for the Lord.
Congrats, Connor, Katie. I wish you the best, and I love you so much, and God bless.